guys, welcome to another episode of Sit with Sam. I'm here today with Lisa Hasker, CEO of Vicsport, and so much more. Lisa, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's great to have a chat.
My gosh, so Lisa stood out to me a while back when I got introduced to her by Andrew Walton. Did some research, found out that we had stuff in common, used to be PE teachers and science, and followed very similar pathways, which are not usually traditional pathways, from going from sport to obviously where you are now to CEO of Vicsport. So we're very lucky to have her today. Billable hours. Lisa, just a few questions. We've got a lot of people out there watching this show that are emerging to become CEOs, looking to get their first spot on the board. You've got an incredible career history and have been on many, many boards. Could you share a few little tips around how you've made it from where you were to where you are today?
Gosh, yes, I can. I can try.
Pray tell, thank you. Everyone better be taking notes.
That's right. Really, I was very lucky I've been very lucky to work in sport, full stop. So it's my passion. So very lucky that none of my roles or board positions have ever felt like a job or something that's, I don't want to turn up or whatever. It's all been exciting. So worked my way up through various roles to a couple of CEO roles over the way. I was CEO of Little Athletics Victoria and then CEO of Vicsport. So, I see my role as CEO as really making sure the business runs smoothly so the staff can do their thing and thrive. And take away all the kind of hygiene factors from them so they don't have to stress about that. And obviously represent the organisation and look after the board so we can grow the business. And then on the board side, so I sit at the moment on AFL Sports Ready Foundation Board, which is very exciting.
Get ready to count the boards. What else?
Giving people opportunities to learn and then get jobs in different industries, but mainly sports and arts. And that's exciting because it's a matter of guiding the business so the CEO can get on with what he has to do. So I kind of see both sides of it, which really helps me in being on a board and reporting to a board, being both CEO and on a board. So it's really good. And it's, being on a board can be a bit scary when you start because you think, do I know enough? And do I know enough about the finances and the risk and governance? But really, with a bit of talking to people, a little bit of training and throwing yourself into it, you can really contribute in a really big way. You bring your skills to the table and just ask questions and be interested in the business and keep probing so that you're improving the business and you can make a big difference. No,
that's exciting. For what purpose did you want to go on a board? There was obviously a driver there and a passion there. Yeah. What did you want to get out of it?
Yeah, initially, the first board that I was on was Athletics Victoria. And I'm a track athlete. That was my sport. Yeah. I was a hurdler. Very past life.
Them days.
Broken down body. So it was really me putting back in giving those volunteer hours and being on the board and help guiding the sport that I love. I mean, I love all sport, but athletics in particular. And just giving back and guiding the business and helping. That was really the motivation for getting on the board.
Well, good on you. And I would imagine there was a lot of people wanting to get on those specific boards that you've been on. Can you just give the viewers a few tips on what are some of the things that you did to get the board to, capture the attention of yourself in terms of getting on there?
Yeah, I think it was, I was lucky that the boards at the time were looking for kind of marketing, comms, media, sponsorship, skills to bring to the board.
Tell us more about that. This is very interesting. This caught my attention.
It was the opportunity came up through Sport Australia.
Yep.
And they have a board bank, much the same as we have at Vicsport, so the opportunities are put up. So I went through an interview and recruitment process, which was fantastic and very rigorous. But the shooting board was interesting because I knew nothing about shooting. I was there to sit on the board, help guide the strategy, and think a little bit about how we could better market the sport because it's a really tricky sport to market. But then thinking about how can we get more people interested in having a go, because a lot of people are probably inherently really good target shooters. It was exciting.
Gosh, Sean, I can tell just from you talking about it, just even before we had the camera on. Obviously, you've got a background, you're passionate, you've worked your way up to one board to another board to another board. Were there certain things that you had prepared prior to approaching, that role? Did you have your LinkedIn or, what did you have in place to?
Yeah, I've always had, from doing postgraduate study at universities, there was always a great lecturer that said, make sure your LinkedIn account's up to date and interesting. I'm not the most, obvious social media person, as the guru would know, but, I'll get there. I'm warming up to it.
But you've got the information and the experience. You can just layer that onto the tools.
Just keeping that up to date, and also making sure that when you went into a new position, whether it be the board or a full-time position, you kind of had done the research on the business and the stakeholders, so you kind of hit the ground running a bit, because
Good
otherwise
tips.
you sit, particularly in a board, you sit there kind of trying to work out what's going on for a while. You really need to do a lot of homework before you start.
Okay. So how do you find out what board positions are open? Is there a central point that you go to? How do people find out?
Yeah, look, there's a few points. I mean, if you're in Victoria and you're interested in a sporting board, all our members who are sports in Victoria send us opportunities at Vicsport, so you can look at our board bank. Sport Australia also have a board bank, so they'll have opportunities that are available more for national sporting organisations. Women on Boards is another organisation that puts opportunities up for people. So, and then places like Sport People and organisations like that do recruitment often put board positions up as well. And then if you're interested in a particular sport, even if you're not involved in that sport,
it's good you say
as
that.
a competitor, which is good, because you get a different perspective on your board, they often put opportunities up on their website. And particularly in Victoria, with the 40% quota of women on boards, there's a lot of opportunities for women.
We like that.
Which is unique worldwide. And so that has been an awesome campaign that we've been lucky enough to be part of with Victorian Government and Vic Health. It's exciting, and that means there's opportunities for people that might normally not think that that's for them.
Yep.
But it is for them. Everyone's got something to contribute.
Yeah. Agree. When I was on the board of Rugby Vic, there was so much that I took from it, just in terms of meeting new people, networking, being able to add not only your own value, but then being able to just soak up their value as well. So you're all pushing forward together. Currently on a board at the moment. So what are some of the things that, you're contributing massively, but what are some of the things that are keeping you green and growing on that board?
It's an interesting one. The one that I'm on at the moment is AFL Sports Ready Foundation. So AFL Sports Ready is an organisation, a registered RTO, that provides courses and internships for young people who have finished school and that are coming out and wanting to learn and be placed in a workplace and get going in the world.
Yep.
So the foundation has a particular focus on raising money for disadvantaged and Aboriginal people to have those education opportunities at Sports Ready, or Arts Ready, so it has a sport focus and an arts focus, and give them the courses and the work experience that means they're going to get their first job. So it's really exciting. So I sit on a board with an exciting group of people who are dedicated to let's get out there and promote and find some funds to give people the opportunity to be educated.
And it's such a feeling, isn't it? You're just like, you're helping other people get what they want.
The stories are fantastic. Some of the young people that have had the opportunity to do a certificate or diploma, do some work experience and then end up in a full-time job. And, I had a couple of lucky breaks. People helped me. Yep. And it became a career. So, I want to help other people have the same opportunity.
I love it. And you just mentioned that people help you as well. Going from PE, moving very rapidly up, I suppose, the career ladder in different areas. What are some of the things that you did to enable you to move to that next level from obviously where you were back in the day, me, PE teaching, to obviously now being CEO of Vicsport? What are some of the tactics and strategies or things that you did to help you move to that next level in your career?
Well, I love teaching and it was fun, but I couldn't see myself as the 75-year-old PE teacher.
Oh, yeah. Even though you'd rock it.
I thought, the kids are going to hate it. I didn't want to be one of those teachers that got stale and angry and became that kind of grump. So I thought, I'll get out and I'll see how I go. And I took a year's unpaid leave and thought, well, if it doesn't work, I'll come back. Yeah. I did a graduate diploma in sports science at Deakin, and that had a focus on coaching. And I was coaching hurdling at the time, so it was kind of like a personal improvement thing, but also for my job. I literally just went around and talked to people that were in jobs that I thought were quite nice and said to them,
tip.
How did you get there?
Yeah.
What did you do? What study did you do? Who people did you meet? What skills do you need? And quite a few of them were like you and I, they were ex-phys ed teachers, so I thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And then I ended up at Australian Runner magazine having a talk to Terry O'Halloran, who runs that business, the athletics world. And we just had a chat and he suggested a few other people that I could go and talk to, so kind of opening the tentacles of networking. And then he rang me back a couple of weeks later and said, have you got a job yet? So it kind of started as come and help for 2 weeks and then it became 2 years. But that was a really good experience because in that role, coming out of teaching, I organised everything from, the portable toilets to the sponsorship.
Yep,
so
right.
you were exposed to the
best.
whole business. So it was a really good exposure to everything, including getting sponsorship in the door. So that was kind of the start of my marketing sponsorship kind of life. And then after that, I moved to a job at Golf Victoria. That was exciting. It was a big learning curve. There was lots of very dedicated people. All the men on the board were just, golf was their life. And that was good because I got involved in producing a magazine, getting media and marketing and sponsorship for a big tournament, the Vic Open, which is still very successful, and just, marketing golf and supporting the members, which were private golf clubs. And while I was there, I kept on with the study. So I'd done a grad diploma in sports science with a coaching focus, and then I stayed at Deakin for doing a grad diploma in sport management.
Just sensing like, you have to immerse yourself in the deep end, hustle, have a side hustle happening as well, and just ensure that you're, I suppose...
Go to everything.
Go to everything.
Go to everything. Every networking opportunity, every opportunity where funding partners say we're having a networking thing or we've got an information day, never wipe them off, always go. It might mean you have to work at night to get your basic work done or weekends or whatever it is, but... all the friends and contacts that I've got in the industry now, which support me in my role, particularly at Vicsport, I met 25 years ago when we were all kind of wandering around sport and going to different things and meeting up with each other. So it's really important to get out the door. Make
the effort.
Yes.
Even if it's raining, get yourself out there.
That's right.
Come on. I would imagine, because you're putting yourself out there so much, because you're that type of person that's a go-getter, there would have been a few doors maybe that have closed or slammed in your face and you've gone, hang on a minute, okay. What are some of the things that you told yourself and did to enable you to pick yourself back up, gain the confidence to then put yourself back out there again?
Yeah, good question. I suppose it's a matter of just asking people about where they think the gaps are and trying to fill them, whether it be with a bit of study, whether it be with some courses, whether it be with a mentor, trying to make sure that, the next time you have the opportunity, you're actually ready. And, you're not just going, oh, well, it didn't work and I'll leave it alone. If you really want to go for something, make sure you're ready, make sure you've got the right education, you've got the right, advice from people, so that, when that opportunity comes up, you can put your hand up. And also, I think a lot of people don't have the confidence just to go for something they really want because they think, oh, it won't work. Well, it might not, but it just might. And, I get a lot of people ringing me saying, oh, I want to go for that job, but I don't have all the, the key selection criteria. I'm like, no one does. That's just someone going, I'd love this.
This is great advice.
But you might have, and I think probably in the main, men are better at going, oh, I've got 3 of them, I'll go for the job. Women, we kind of go, oh, I haven't got all of them, I won't go. And that's not all women or all men, but we need to be confident to say, I've got 4 of the 6, I'm going for it. And I'm really strong on 3 of them, so I'm going to push those and I'm going to write my story to show that, I'm right for the job. And I think that's part of the work we do at Vicsport with our leadership program for women called LEAP, is give them the confidence to go for it and have the courage to go, no, I'm going to give it a go, and then also build the resilience that if you get kicked down, that's fine, you go again. There's a lot of people I've talked to that I've mentored along the way that are nervous to go to functions and networking functions, which you need to go to, because they're like, oh, well, I don't know anyone. I'm like, well, no one did to some, Just bounce up to someone and say, hi, and, good to meet you, where are you from? I said there is barely any occasion when someone will not talk to you when you've jumped up to say hi, and they're probably looking for someone to talk to as well. And then once you've made that connection, you're on your way.
What does happiness mean to you?
Oh, wow. That's
just threw that one in.
I think for me it's, making sure that I've got some balance in my life. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not working long hours or that I'm not, going to lots of things. It's the balance that I'm happy with. So it's work-life balance, I think, is a bit of an overrated statement. Because to be successful in certain industries, well, in lots of industries, but you can't have what some people perceive as work-life balance. It's not going to work. But you need to be happy with the balance that you've got and comfortable with that. So I think happiness is having that, so I've got time to be at work and be calm enough to approach everything in a happy way. And, have time to be focus on staff and do different things. And then also the same in my home life and family and looking after my pussycat and my godchildren and my athletes, just having the time so I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm giving people time, but I'm also got some time for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, can I hide away for a few hours and just do nothing?
No,
Watch sport on telly in my jammies or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that's happiness for me, just having that kind of calmness that I'm covering all bases in such a way that I'm happy with it. It's got a bit of a thing that I say to myself, that just take the time.
Take the time. And we will leave it on that note, where we're feeling very chill, where we're taking the time. Mung beans. Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing so much gold. Yeah, go check Lisa out on her LinkedIn.
Yes.
Lisa Hasker.
Lisa Hasker, yeah.
And you can Google her, just read her story, it's incredible. So yeah, thank you so much again for joining me.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.